Shh. I have a dirty little secret. Don't tell anyone, but when I boondock, I have a lot of garbage. That's my dirty secret. And a lot of you ask all the time, what do I do with my garbage as a boondocker? I don't have curbside service. So today I'm going to talk everything about RV living, garbage, including answering the question I have been getting a lot, why don't I just store my garbage on my roof? I recently did a bear bag video where I had to hang a bear bag, and a lot of you asked, good question, why don't I just put my garbage on my roof? I'm also going to talk about whether or not you need to be concerned that a bear might break into my RV or yours. So I'm going to answer that at the end. So I'm going to talk about how I get rid of garbage and answer that question at the end. Okay, let's get started.
Ain't nobody gonna do it for you. You got to mind your own.
So a question you guys ask me all the time since I've been living in an RV is, how do I get rid of my garbage? You know, I have garbage, I'm human. And how do I get rid of it? So I've answered this in inline videos as part of the story, but I haven't done a whole video just on garbage. So I know that some of you have heard some of this before, but I get rid of my garbage when I go into town. I don't put it all in one big sack. I try to keep it in little manageable sacks. We're not using plastic garbage bags anymore, so it's getting a lot more challenging. I'm using whatever vessels I can these days. You know, I'm hooked on my LaCroix soda, so I use this as a garbage bag now. I use all of my bags that like food comes in. You know, everything comes in a resealable bag these days, so these are really good for food garbage, and I keep one by my sink all the time. Right now I actually have an empty plastic container, an empty protein powder container that I'm reusing for all of my food garbage, but a lot of times I'll put the wet food garbage in these and just seal these up. So you do get creative with your garbage when you are holding on to it inside a 24-foot RV for 2 weeks at a time. So instead of using grocery store bags now, which I do still have a few, but I try not to use those, I reuse anything that food comes in or any products come in. I never throw them away. I reuse these. And so when I go into town, I drop off little sacks of garbage everywhere I go. The gas station is one of my favorites because I spend $175 these days to fill my tank. I figure I can drop off a couple little bags of garbage. But I'll go, when I'm going into Walmart, I'll drop a little sack. Any place that I spend money, I try to spend money at the place that I'm dropping my garbage. So Walmart, I'll take a little sack. And again, we're not talking, you don't want to drop off 40 pounds of garbage all in one place. Spread it out, spread the garbage love, you know. And now, often what I'm doing is I'm finding a landfill or a transfer station in the area that I'm in. And I do have a video coming up shortly showing a visit to one of these. I had some big garbage, and it was $3 to dump my garbage. From like 1 gallon to 33 gallons was $3. So save up all your garbage one time, 33 gallons, and you can go and dump it for $3. So I'm trying to do that more often too. Sometimes city parks have garbage cans. Again, little garbage cans. Rest areas are really good for that. Some states even have these pull-outs where you can just pull out on a country road and they have garbage cans. And again, you don't want to overload it with a big giant bag because that looks like misuse and overuse, and then they stop providing those garbage cans. So that's how I get rid of my garbage. I spread it out when I'm running errands, because usually I'm going into town and I'm making multiple stops. Sometimes, like when I'm getting propane, I might ask, hey, do you mind if I throw some garbage in your dumpster? And that's how I get rid of my garbage. And recently, the question of storing garbage came up, especially this time of year in the summer. It's a lot warmer. Storing garbage inside the RV can be a smelly, dirty, icky thing. And if I'm not in bear territory, I can usually keep it outside in my garbage can. So this is my garbage can. And I haven't had too many problems. I always thought I can just leave the garbage can really close to the RV. if anything comes into camp, Sadie's gonna hear it and she's gonna bark and scare it away. But when I first got to Colorado, you might remember a bear got my empty garbage can, and it was a little too far away from my rig probably. But that was kind of a wake-up call for me that I shouldn't rely on Sadie scaring a bear away, and I should find another way to deal with my garbage while I'm camping this time of year. I hung a bear bag, and I'll put link to the video in the description and also in a pinned comment so that you can see that video how I hung a bear bag. It wasn't pretty, but I got it done. That's the story of my life. It may not be pretty, but I get her done. So I did hang a bear bag. So I'm in bear territory. I've seen so many bears this year. I can't just leave my food outside because a bear will get it, and a fed bear is a dead bear. And I try to respect my environment by not causing harm to the wildlife and the environment. So I hung a bear bag, and a lot of you had a lot of questions. Number one, why don't you store your garbage inside your RV? And like I said, it smells this time of year. I might be able to get away with it during the winter, but I can't this time of year. And the biggest question I got was, why don't I just store my garbage on my roof? Before I answer that question though, please do me a favor, check your subscription. Make sure you're still subscribed to my channel, because every time I say this, just in the last video last night, yeah, I was unsubscribed and I don't know why. And click your bell for notification and make sure you never miss a video. So a lot of people are like, yeah, I was wondering why I wasn't seeing your videos anymore. So between the screwy shorts algorithm and YouTube unsubscribing people, it's no wonder, you know, I'm seeing a change in my channel, but you're all coming back, so thank you. All right, so why don't I just store my garbage on my roof? That might be one reason. I really thought I'd be able to make the throw. You want to try it again? Oh, having too much fun. It fell off the other side. All right, so why don't I store my garbage on my roof, other than the fact that I can't throw worse shit? I could carry it up the ladder, and that brings me to why I don't store my garbage on the roof. I have a ladder. I think bears can climb ladders. They can climb trees, right? So yeah, I'm concerned that the smell of my garbage on the roof is going to attract a bear, and it's gonna try to climb the ladder or the walls or whatever. And of course, again, then I'm thinking, well, if that happens, Sadie would definitely bark and scare it away. But that's a little too close for comfort for me, having a bear climbing around on the roof. I don't know how strong my roof is. I don't know, a bear is 600 pounds. It holds me, I'm not 600 pounds, but I don't know how much weight, honestly, the roof would hold. I think some of you asked that question as well. So it's a good question, because I did consider it, and in fact, there's been a couple times I've had a little bag of food garbage and I've just tossed it up there. But overall, it's not something that I'm comfortable with. And while I'm at it, why don't I address one more concern that people had. I got bombarded with messages and emails and videos about bears breaking into RVs, and a lot of people were really concerned that if I store my garbage inside my RV, which I don't do anyway because I don't want mice. I've already had 2 mice recently that I had to kill. That I had to get rid of. And I don't want to so I don't want to attract mice, but here's the thing that always gets me about the concern about garbage inside the RV. I have an RV full of food. I have a full refrigerator and freezer and cupboards, and I cook every day, and I've got all kinds of yummy smells in there. If a bear really wanted to break into my RV, it wouldn't be over a bag of garbage. It would be over all the other deliciousness I have inside my RV. And of course, yes, a bear can break into an RV, but there are rules in many national parks that you can't have soft-sided campers. Maybe even some national forests. You can't camp in like those canvas pop-ups, because bears know there's food in there and they can break in. It's all about what the bear is acclimated to, what the bear knows, and this is why it's so important to not leave food outside our RVs. Someone wrote that a bear came into camp and got their fruits and vegetables. Oh, but I took everything else. That's bad, 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 bad for the bear. The more they become acclimated to humans equals food, the more they become acclimated to RV smelling like food because it's on the roof, the more bold they get. And a bear can break into a house or a cabin or a garage as easily as it can an RV. So am I concerned that a bear is going to come along and break into my RV? I'm not. This is not. The places that I go, most of the time they're not acclimated. I wouldn't do it. Even in Yosemite. I mean, the Yosemite Valley is one of the most notorious places for car break-ins. You're not allowed to leave any food or ice chests in sight inside your car, because if a bear sees it, not smells it, a bear could break into your car and steal your food. So yeah, in the places that I go, it's never been an issue. I make enough noise. They know I'm here. They know Sadie's here. They want to avoid us. What's my motto? Wildlife wants to avoid us more than we want to avoid them. So by the time I'm settled in a camp for a few days, they know I'm here, and as long as I keep my camp clean and don't leave food out for them, they're pretty much gonna stay away. There is one thing though, because I've seen so many bears this year, that I've had to change. I have a really bad habit of wandering outside in the morning, leaving my front door wide open. Wide open. And before I know it, I've walked a mile. Because I'm like, I'm just gonna go down there. And then I've really learned to shut not just my screen door, but also my regular door. Because having anything open, and sometimes if I'm going even for a longer walk, I shut all my windows too. Because having that window open just makes it easier. It probably makes it easier for the bear to see and smell inside. And I just, why invite a bear in? I might as well close everything up. So that's another tip for you. Backpacking, they even say, like, if you're going to the bathroom, don't leave your backpack sitting on a trail while you're going 20 feet away, because just 20 feet away, a bear could come and take your backpack. So regardless of I think as long as you're out of sight of your RV, you should make sure all your doors are closed so that you're not inviting a bear to just walk in the front door. It's kind of a fear of mine now that I come in and find a bear helping itself to all my goodies inside the RV. All right, I hope you found that helpful. That's why I do these videos, even for those of you who've been around for a while and they might seem a little repetitive. I have a lot of new viewers and people forget. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to share my experience and help. Thank you for being here. I'll see you soon. In the meantime, be happy, be free, and be kind. I'll see you soon. Don't tell anyone. I have a dirty secret. I have a lot of garbage. Okay, let's get started. So a question you... So a question you guys ask me all the time, using whatever vessels I can these days. Sometimes like, in a propane, I might ask, hey, do you mind if I throw some garbage in your dumpster? And that's how I get rid of my garbage. Okay, actually, hold up. Sadie girl! Alright, so why don't I just store my garbage on my roof? That might be one reason.